Hello, and welcome to the Daily Almanac for November 29th. So, let's get started.
First day in history!
On this day in history, November 29th, 1832, Louisa May Alcott was born. An author of books for American girls, Louisa May Alcott is best remembered for Little Women, one of her 270 published works. This novel, which is still popular today, was based mainly on her own experiences growing up. Also, on this day in 1929, Navy Lieutenant Commander Richard E. Byrd radioed that he'd made the first airplane flight over the South Pole. It was the first time that flight over the pole had been attempted, and up to that time, only 2 parties had ever reached the South Pole, and only one survived the trip back, Roald Amundsen from Norway. And on this day in 1961, the first U.S. satellite carrying an animal was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The passenger was Enos, a 5-year-old chimpanzee who was on a 2-orbit ride. During the flight, Enos carried out lever-pulling performances and psychological tests that he had trained for 16 months. Oh, he performed the tests very well. Today on Word Power, we'll learn about the word dreidel. A dreidel is a 4-sided spinning top. It has 1 Hebrew letter printed on each side. The letters stand for a 4-word phrase that means a great miracle happened here. During the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, children spin the dreidel and try to win candy. Dreidel is a Yiddish word that comes from the German word drehen, which means to turn.
Ooh, extremes.
Today on Extremes, we ask, what is the largest island on an island? The answer is the island Samosir on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. Samosir covers 245 square miles or 630 square kilometers. That's about 100 times the size of Manhattan Island in New York. Samosir is found on Lake Toba, which is actually a caldera. Calderas are special kinds of volcanic craters which are formed when volcanoes collapse into themselves after an eruption.
Health tips.
When you're riding on your bike, here are some things you should never do. Number 1, never ride at dusk or when it's dark. Number 2, never ride in traffic. Number 3, never cross the street in the middle of the block. Number 4, never wear loose clothing that can catch in the wheels of the bike. Number 5, never ride too close to parked cars. Someone could open a door as you go by and hit you. And number 6, never wear dark clothes that make it hard for others to see you. The first state to ratify the Constitution was Delaware in December 1787, 3 months after the framers had adjourned the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. That's why the nickname of Delaware is the first state. Later, in 1787 and in early 1788, 7 other states ratified the Constitution. When New Hampshire ratified on June 21, 1788, it was the 9th state to do so. By the ratification requirements set forth in Article 7, the Constitution was now officially established. Rhode Island was the last of the original 13 states to ratify the Constitution in 1790. Well, that's all the time we have left today for Daily Almanac. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you tomorrow.